Hey guys, so today we are going to learn how to cast on, and that is the term that is used in knitting when you have to start your project. So you'll notice in your knitting pattern it usually says something like cast on 12 stitches, cast on 54 stitches. We're just going to learn the simple slip knot method on how to cast on today, okay? So you only need two things to cast on. You need whatever yarn that you're working with in your project, and you will need whatever needle you're working with your project. No matter what skill level you're at, the project always starts with casting on. So let's start here, and this is going to be the slip knot method here. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to kind of unroll some yarn here, and I'm going to tie a slip knot. Now in your project, you would want to make sure that you have what they call the tail, which is the yarn that has the end on it. And then they have what's over here. This is called your working yarn because it's attached to your ball of yarn, okay? So when you start your project, your tail has to be as long as however many stitches that you're casting on. A good kind of quick, simple tip for that is whatever, if it says to cast on 10 stitches, you can just wrap it around 10 times. And then you know that that's going to be enough for 10 stitches, okay? So today, just for showing purposes, we're not going to do like a huge long project today, so I'm just going to tie a slip knot, just your normal slip knot, nothing fancy. But what I want to make sure is that my tail is to the front and my working yarn is to the back, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this slip knot right here on my needle, tighten it up just like that. And now we're going to actually do the cast on. Now, your slip knot that you just tied right here, this is going to be the first stitch. So you can count that as one, okay? So now your hand placement here, slip that back on. Your hand placement here is the kicker. This is kind of what confuses people, but it's really easy once you get it down, okay? So when you have the slip knot on, you want to use your finger here to anchor it to your needle so it doesn't just slide off, okay? So you want to hold that down, and then you want to take this yarn and with your fingers go in between here. So you have your pointer finger with your working yarn and you have your thumb with your tail. And you want to grab those and anchor them with your back two fingers just like that. So you've kind of created this like slingshot type thing here, okay? So with your finger right here on this needle and with your yarn held and anchored in your hand, now is when you do the actual cast on stitch. So keeping your finger right here on top of this slip knot, you want to go in front and you want to pick that up here, and then this little thing back here in between, you're going to wrap it around, and then you have your stitch. So when I was starting knitting, I kind of had this thing in my little thing that I said here. When I first started knitting, I would hold it here and I would go front, back, through, okay? Let me do that kind of slowly here for you. So you want to go front of this yarn, back of the yarn behind it, and then you want to pull it through, just like that. So see, now I have 4 stitches on my needle. So front, back, and then you pull it through. And see, what this is going to do is every time you do that, it's going to create like its own little slip knot here on your needle. And these are the stitches of your project, okay? So let me just show you just one more time. We've got my tail up front, working yarn to the back. Always when you knit, you want to anchor your stitches on your needle right here with your finger. And you're going to go front, back, pull through. Front, back, pull through. Front, back, pull through. And you do that however many times that you have stitches that it tells you to cast on, okay? And that is a simple way, the slip knot method for casting on when you knit. Good luck with your projects.